You are listening to Radio Long Island City, recorded at our studios near Hell Gate, 9 kilometers north of the Harbor Hill Moraine. And now, the Observatory. The Observatory, Wednesday the 13th of May, 2026. It is 54 days after the spring equinox. It is 39 days before the summer solstice. In today's episode, Weeds, a socialist for president, the Taft-Hartley Act, B. Arthur, Harvey Keitel, and Stephen Colbert. The sun rises today at 5:40 a.m. Solar noon takes place today at 12:52 p.m. The sun sets today at 8:04 p.m., civil twilight ends at 8:35 p.m., and nautical twilight ends at 9:14 p.m. The length of daytime today is 2 minutes longer than yesterday. The moon is in its waning crescent phase and is 14% full at midday. The moon rises today at 3:31 a.m., and then it sets at 4:34 p.m. These are the predicted tides today for Horns Hook. In the wee hours, low tide, 1:40 a.m., 15 centimeters. In the morning, high tide, 7:54 a.m., 1 meter 43. In the afternoon, low tide, 1:53 p.m., 15 centimeters. In the evening, high tide, 8:20 p.m., 1 meter 74. In our shared realm of plants and animals, when is a weed not a weed? We're thinking of lady's thumb, or Pariscaria maculosa. We know you've seen it. It's an annual that self-sows with abandon in disturbed soil, so you'll often see it popping up in flower beds or at the edges of lawns. Its thin stalks have alternating leaves and are segmented, sort of like bamboo, but the giveaway are the spikes of tiny, tiny pink or red flowers that will appear in about a month, but the plants, if you know them, are showing up now. If you snap off the flower spike and suck on it, it has a zesty, lemony flavor. Don't do this in the park, of course. It's almost universally treated as a weed and mown down or ripped up. But if you actually let it grow, it can turn into a full bush almost a meter tall, with full leaves and flowers that last for the rest of the summer. Lady's thumb, an often overlooked delight. Commemorations. On this day in 1920, the Socialist Party nominated Eugene V. Debs as its candidate for President of the United States. He was at the time serving a 10-year sentence in a federal penitentiary for sedition. He had been arrested for sedition because he had protested our entry into World War I. His final appeal reached the Supreme Court, which ruled against him. He denounced the court, calling them begowned, bewhiskered, bepowdered old fossils who have never decided anything. The Socialists printed up buttons using his prison number. They read, Convict 2253 for President. He didn't win, of course, but he received an impressive 900,000 votes. President Harding commuted his sentence a year later. The history of labor relations. On this day in 1947, the Senate approved the Taft-Hartley Act, limiting the power of unions. President Truman vetoed the act, but was overridden by the Congress, and it became law in June of that year. It was a major setback for unions, forbidding, among other things, wildcat strikes, solidarity strikes, mass picketing, and monetary donations by unions to federal political campaigns. Chillingly, it also required union officers to certify they were not communists, and it allowed states to pass anti-union rules known as right-to-work laws. The Taft-Hartley Act remains on the books. Today we remember B. Arthur, born this day in 1922 in Brooklyn. She had a long career in television, film, and theater. On Broadway, she originated the role of Yenta the Matchmaker in 1964's Fiddler on the Roof. She came to national prominence when she appeared in Norman Lear's sitcom All in the Family, where she played a feminist relative who was the polar opposite of Archie Bunker. That led to her spin-off series Maude, which continued to explore hot-button social and political themes. And of course, who can forget her in The Golden Girls? Remember B. Arthur today. And we wish a happy birthday to Harvey Keitel, born this day in 1939, also in Brooklyn. If you list off his films, well, he appeared in so many classic movies: Mean Streets, Taxi Driver, Reservoir Dogs, Pulp Fiction, Thelma and Louise, and The Bad Lieutenant, just to name a few. But we remember with especial pleasure his role in Smoke, a film by the great New York novelist Paul Auster. Keitel co-starred with William Hurt in a thoughtful, quiet drama centered on a smoke shop in Brooklyn. Happy birthday, Harvey Keitel. Finally, we wish a happy birthday to Stephen Colbert, born this day in 1964. Having been forced off the air in the current political climate, we look forward to seeing his next act. Happy birthday, Stephen Colbert. And that is the Observatory, Wednesday the 13th of May, 2026.